You can count on me.
I know I can. Talk to you after the fight.
Lights out. Scene 4. Time, next day after the fight. Place, inside a locker room. Frankie is sitting on a bench, wearing a robe. Smitty is removing the gloves from Frankie's hands. A door opens and Kaplan enters the scene.
Smitty, leave us alone for a while.
Okay, boss.
Smitty finishes removing the gloves, places them next to Frankie, and exits the stage.
How much did you get for taking the dive?
What are you talking about?
Stop putting on an act. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
25 G's. You gonna tell anyone, are you?
Are you kidding? You got enough problems already.
What problems?
You'll find out, Frankie. You're not the first chump that ever sold out to the mob. I'm just surprised that you did it when you had the chance to be the champ. It never fails to amaze me what some people would do for a few lousy bucks.
So I took a dive, so what?
Let me tell you something, Frankie. Once the mob has you in their grip, they don't let go. These mobsters will fix anything for a buck. And if it's not you, they'll find somebody else to be their pigeon. You think that $25,000 is a lot of money? Well, tonight, your new business partners make 20 times what they pay you. And don't think that they're finished with you. These guys don't know the meaning of the word no. You'll soon find out what I'm talking about.
I can take care of myself.
Kid Kavanaugh and Mo Brown told me the same thing, and look what happened to them.
You think I'm washed up?
That's an honest fighter, yes, but as far as your career as a shill is concerned, this is just the beginning.
After throwing a fight.
That's right. The fans don't know that you threw the fight. They'll pay big money to see the rematch because you're a hometown boy and a crowd favorite.
Next time I'll win.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
Well, what do you mean maybe? I'll win because I'm the best middleweight boxer in the world.
I won't dispute that, but your new business partners may have other different plans for you.
What do you mean different plans?
Frankie, don't think you've been listening to me. I told you that the mob doesn't know the meaning of the word no.
I'll just tell them to buzz off.
Frankie, you don't tell bookies, loan sharks, and racketeers to buzz off unless you have some protection. And you don't have protection, so you're at their mercy.
So what am I supposed to do?
Well, whatever you want. Just you don't listen to anyone anyway.
Should I take the money?
You have no choice in the matter. Your new friends will insist. I suggest that you not spend the money.
I'll put it in the bank.
Hey. But then again, make sure that the bank is close by because you'll probably have to make some quick withdrawals.
For what?
You will need the money to buy protection. Lawyers and bodyguards are expensive.
Lawyers, bodyguards, why should I need that?
Because you're now part of the racket.
Because I took a dive.
That's right. You're now riding with some rough company, and I guarantee you that if you try to double-cross them, you're going to need bodyguards and lawyers fast.
We'll see about that. In the meantime, where does this leave you?
Well, I'm still your manager for now.
Well, what do you mean for now?
Well, I suspect that soon your friends will be asking me to leave.
Why?
Because I refuse to play ball with these guys.
Who will replace you?
Well, maybe Pub Levine or some other show.
And how will they replace you?
They'll simply tell me to get lost.
Or what if I don't want you to get lost?
You have no choice in the matter. You're on their payroll.
Payroll for what?
They're going to pay your bills.
What bills?
For your expenses. As long as you're making money for them, you'll be treated like royalty. They'll set you up in the finest hotels in town and hook you up with the classiest dames money can buy. After a while, you may even get used to their smell.
Well, what if I don't want them to pay for my expenses?
No, I'm afraid they will insist. And like I said before, they don't know the word no. But just because they'll be paying your bills doesn't mean that you're their friend.
What do you mean?
To these guys, you're merely another sucker to be exploited and then discarded when they're through with you.
I didn't think that they were my friends.
That's exactly right, Frankie. You didn't think.
Hey, Mr. Cap, don't make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just telling you the truth. And when's the payoff?
Tomorrow.
Enough said, my boy. There are some reporters outside who want to interview you, so why don't we let them in and get this charade over with now?
Kaplan opens the door, and as reporters enter the locker room, the curtain falls. Scene 5. Time, next day. Place, the bar. Frankie and Russo are sitting at the table.
You did great, Frankie.
Thanks. Where's the money?
Russo takes an envelope out of his jacket pocket and gives it to Frankie, who opens the envelope, examines its contents, and then puts the envelope in his jacket pocket.
It's all there, kid.
I believe you.
You're a rich kid now. Easy money for easy work, I'd say.
Listen, you creep, just shut up. I did what I had to do. You paid me, and that's it. The deal's finished.
For now.
What do you mean for now?
You did so well that we may want to call upon your services again.
You mean throw another fight?
That's right, kid.
Maybe I'm planning to retire.
I don't think that would be too good of an idea right now.
Why? Who's gonna stop me?
Nobody.
Then I'm telling you now that I retire.
Okay, Frankie. But let me give you a piece of advice. The State Boxing Commission comes down hard on boxers who throw fights, and if the commission finds out about what you did, you'll be in a lot of trouble.
Who's gonna tell him?
People talk.
And what about you?
What about me?
You were on the deal too?
What deal? I'm
What-
just a fight fan who wished you all the best before the fight.
You think that people will believe that?
Sure they would. Why not? You'd say something different?
Maybe I would.
That would not be smart. You're just be getting yourself into trouble. I suggest that you take a nice vacation at my expense. And when you're nice and refreshed, we can talk.
You're not my manager.
Like heck I'm not. Who's paying the bills now?
What bills?
For anything you want or need.
I have no expenses and I don't need your money.
Yes, you do. You'll be staying at the Astor Hotel, and we'll be making sure that you have the finest clothing, best food, and all the women you need.
Keep it. Right now, I'm living with my parents, eat at home, and have everything I need.
Well, that will change.
How do you figure that?
Because of what's inside that envelope I gave you.
That money is going into a savings account.
Right.
You don't believe me?
Whatever you say, kid. There's a lot of money in that envelope. And there's a lot more where that came from.
More.
Yeah. That's why you're cooperating. This is just the start of the gravy train for you, kid.
Oh, what gravy train?
Are you dense or something?
I'm not dense.
You sure sound that way.
You know what? Stop insulting me.
I didn't mean to, kid. It's just, you're surprising me. I thought you'd be jumping for joy.
Over what? I threw a fight. Period. You paid me. Period. What's there to celebrate?
Getting paid $25,000.
The money's great and I'm willing to play ball with you, but don't boss me, okay? I want another fight soon.
Who do you think you are, kid?
What are you getting sore for?
Your attitude. Listen, kid, you're not working for me, and you'll do what I tell you.
What about it if I don't?
Then you'll be in a lot of trouble. But why should we be arguing? We got a good thing going. With your name and my guidance, we're gonna clean up big time.
Maybe I don't want your guidance.
That's not for you to decide.
Maybe I want out.
What are you talking about? You said you were willing to play ball. So what's your gripe? You have nothing to worry about. You have new friends now.
What about Kaplan?
Keep him if you want. But we're not gonna pay him. That's your responsibility.
Meaning what?
Meaning that we don't care who you pal around with, just as long as we maintain a good, working relationship.
Good working relationship.
What are you, my echo?
I was just thinking.
Oh, yeah. About what?
Will our working relationship include you giving me another shot at the title?
Absolutely. And not only that, you may actually become the champ.
How?
You watch, kid.
Don't tell me that you can fix it so I can become champ.
We did it for Doyle.
Listen, if I become champ, I wanted to win it legit, okay? No fix.
Whatever you say, kid.
Do me a favor, Mr. Russo.
Sure.
Stop calling me kid. My name is Frankie, okay?
Okay. Frankie. No need to get so touchy.
And stop talking to me like I'm a jerk.
And you watch your attitude, okay?
Get off my case.
If you be quiet and do what you're told, I won't be on your case.
I'll say whatever I please.
Look, either you play ball with us or there will be trouble.
Just because you gave me some money, you think you own me now?
That's right, Frankie.
Nobody owns me.
That's what you think.
That's exactly what I think. And as far as I'm concerned, This conversation is over.
You'll be hearing from us.
As Frankie and Russo get up from the table, the curtain falls. Scene 6. Time 1 week later. Place, the gym. Frankie is working out in the ring while Kaplan, standing outside of the ring, watches.
You're looking good, Frankie.
Thanks. What brings you here?
I have good news for you.
What is it?
I went to Cy Rothman. We talked about a rematch between you and Doyle. Rothman's willing to set up the match, and it's on the up and up. All you have to do is sign the contract.
Frankie leaves the ring and stands next to Kaplan, who gives Frankie the contract. Frankie briefly looks at the contract.
How come I'm only getting 20% of the gate?
You lost to him, remember?
So what? I still think I should get a bigger cut. I mean, what's Doyle gonna get?
25%. He's the champ.
25%.
Champ or no champ, there's no way Doyle's worth more than me. People will be paying to see me, not Doyle.
Why are you squawking? Didn't your friends pay you enough money already? This is your chance to redeem yourself, and Rothman is willing to give you that chance. Now, will you take it?
Frankie looks at the contract again. While looking at the contract, Russo enters the scene.
Frankie, my boy, how are you?
Russo offers his hand. Frankie does not move.
What are you doing here?
I want to talk business with you.
Didn't I tell you to get lost?
What kind of attitude is that?
Get out of here!
I know you. You used to run with the Lupo gang.
Really?
Yeah. Last year, I saw you at Jack's gym on the west side. You and Louis Lupo tried to strong-arm Pete Tracy, but Tracy chased you and Lupo out of the place.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever you say.
Well, why don't you get lost now? Me and Frankie have things to talk about.
Whatever you have to say to Frankie, you can say to me. I'm his manager.
I don't care who you are. Get lost.
Don't talk to Mr. Kaplan like that.
Frankie, you better cool it.
This is how you do business.
This is how you're making me do business.
Well, I don't want to do business with you, so now get out of here.
Frankie turns to leave. Russo grabs Frankie from behind and hits him hard on the head with a club. Frankie falls to the floor. Kaplan rushes towards Russo, who punches Kaplan in the face. Kaplan staggers backwards and collapses onto the floor. Frankie tries to get up, but is pinned down by Russo, who has planted his foot on Frankie's back.
Frankie, I don't want to get rough with you and your pal, but if you want to play games, you're both going to get hurt. Let me up. Only if you promise to cooperate.
After a few moments, Frankie stops struggling.
Okay, I promise.
Okay. Now get out, and don't make any trouble.
Russo, still holding the club, removes his foot from Frankie's back and moves away from Frankie.
Are you okay, Mr. Kaplan?
I'm okay, Frankie. I'm just a little woozy.
Cut the small talk. You're both live.
Frankie and Kaplan are now back on their feet.
What is it that you want?
I heard that you may be fighting Doyle again.
So?
I may be in need of your services.
What services?
Stop playing games. You know what I mean.
Another fix?
I told you what would happen.
Told him what?
Stop clowns like you.
I'm a clown. And what does that make you, his guardian angel?
I tried to keep him honest.
Him? That's a laugh.
Yeah, at least I tried. And now I've arranged for him a legitimate shot at the title.
Oh, really? You want to know why you're getting a chance to fight Doyle?
Okay, tell me.
Because my pal, Ernie Flanagan, went to Rothman and set it up. You don't think Rothman would take a chance on a putz like you without being given something up front and a guaranteed cut of the action?
You're in with a big-time gangster like Ernie Flanagan?
That's right.
Don't believe it, Frankie. The fight's legit.
Go on, get out of here.
Stop pushing me. I'm leaving.
Then get lost already.
Kaplan starts to leave, then stops and turns around.
Frankie, be careful.
As Kaplan slowly exits the stage, Frankie and Russo sit down and start talking as the curtain falls.
What's wrong, Frankie?
Nothing.
You look upset.
I'm not upset.
You haven't eaten anything. That's not like you.
Will you and Dad please stop bugging me?
What do you want us to do? You look annoyed. We're supposed to say nothing?
I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to yell at you, but just got things on my mind.
You want to talk about it?
think I'm in trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Big trouble.
So far, you're not telling me anything.
This is hard for me to talk about.
Well, try.
Dad, my fight with Doyle was not totally legit.
What do you mean?
I threw the fight.
What?
What?
That's right, I threw the fight.
Why'd you do that?
For the money.
How much?
$25,000.
Frankie, what you did was just plain wrong. In fact, you could go to prison for that.
I know.
You knew that and you still took the money? We expected better of you.
I know, and I'm sorry for disappointing you and Mom, but that doesn't solve my problem.
That you took the payoff.
That's part of the problem. But now the guys who pay me the money want me to throw a rematch with Doyle, and I can't shake them loose.
What about giving them the money back?
I can't do that. Once they give you the money, it's yours.
So now, you're their easy touch.
It looks like that.
What can I do? Have they threatened you?
They told me if I don't go along with it, that they'll make sure that the State Athletic Commission finds out what I did.
Have you considered contacting the commission yourself?
I thought about doing that, but if I do that, I'm going to get a lot of heat from the commission.
Maybe that's the price you have to pay for being so dishonest. Who told you to take the money?
Nobody.
I still can't believe what you did.
What did you do with the money?
I put it in the bank.
Have you spent any of it?
No.
That's good. Don't spend any of it. Otherwise, you'll be making matters worse for yourself.
The last thing I want to do is spend that money.
Ironic, isn't it? You risk your career and reputation for some money, and now you don't even want to spend it.
Please don't lecture me, Dad. You asked what was bothering me, and I told you.
Don't tell me not to lecture you. Not only did you throw the fight, you misled your own parents and jeopardized your life. How do we know that you're not lying right now?
Frankie takes a piece of paper from his pants pocket and gives it to Seymour.
Here's a deposit slip for $25,000.
Where did we go wrong with you?
We didn't do anything wrong, Mildred. What Frankie did was his responsibility and his alone. You were greedy. Your cut of the gate was not enough?
Dad, I did what I did, but I don't want to do it again.
What a relief.
What's going to happen?
See what you've done to your mother?
Seymour gives Mildred a tissue.
Okay, Dad, I know what I did was wrong, and now how can I get out of this?
I'm going to talk to a lawyer friend of mine. In the meantime, Frankie, you try to be careful from now on and keep your nose clean.
Curtain. Scene 8. Time a month later. Place a boxing ring. Frankie is in the near left corner. In the far right corner is Jimmy Doyle. The referee and the ring announcer are in the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner wearing green trunks weighing 153 pounds, from Kalamazoo, Michigan, the middleweight champion of the world, Jimmy Doyle. And in this corner wearing blue trunks weighing 155 pounds from New York City, the #1 contender for the middleweight crown, Frankie Mason!
Frankie! 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 Frankie!
The ring announcer leaves the ring. Then the referee signals both boxers to approach the middle of the ring, gives the boxers their instructions, then the boxers touch gloves and return to their corners. The bell sounds and the boxers come out fighting as the curtain falls. Scene 9. Place the boxing ring. All is quiet.
The bell is rung, the boxers clash, the punches fly, each like a flash. One throws a right, the other a left. They weave and duck without a rest. It's all a game for those outside who scream and yell like kids real high. But for the men inside that ring, it's life itself for which they fling. It's not just money that makes them fight, it's fame and pride which stirs their light. And one will win and the other will lose, but each will know that they made news. So when you watch your next prize fight, Just keep in mind that it's a sight where men can die, and sometimes to wow the fans and pay their dues. 'Cause win or lose is not the point. It's that you fight and leave the joint. To take a punch and done the same takes lots of skill and lots of game. As punches fly and blood and sweat get all mixed up while fans make bets on who will win and who will lose, the fighters fight, all banged and bruised. They're beat up bad with wobbly feet, but they're still alive, and that's a feat. They take their dough and have a beer and nurse their wounds and recall the cheers.
Scene 10, time after the fight. Place, the locker room, where there's pandemonium as reporters struggle with each other for a chance to interview Frankie, who is sitting on a bench next to a locker. Frankie is wearing his robe. Next to him are his boxing gloves. Out of the crowd of reporters comes Murray Berman, holding a microphone. Frankie stands up. Murray then conducts an interview with Frankie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Murray Berman coming to you from the United Sports Arena with the new middleweight champion of the world, Frankie Mason, who just scored a sensational one-round knockout over the former champ Jimmy Doyle, who had to be carried out of the ring. Frankie, how do you feel about this win?
I feel fine.
What are your plans now?
First, take it easy for the next few days and then think about my plans then.
Did you do anything special to prepare for this fight?
Not really, I just trained hard and I stayed focused.
Did you ever doubt that you would win?
Never.
Did you think that you would win in such a spectacular way?
Boxing is an unpredictable game, and I went into this match with one goal, to win. And that's what I did. And whether it takes 1 round or 15 rounds, it's the final result that matters.
The crowd was really pulling for you tonight. How did that make you feel?
I feel great, and I appreciate the support of the fans.
You really bounced back after the first loss to Doyle. Are you willing to give him another shot at the title?
That's something you have to discuss with my manager.
There are rumors that your fight with Doyle might have been fixed. Any comments?
Nothing but cheap talk. Tonight I proved that I'm the best middleweight fighter in the world.
Frankie, you're a role model for kids all over this town. What do you have to say to them?
Listen to your parents and keep your noses clean. And while I'm at it, I like to say hello to my parents, to whom I owe everything to.
Spoken like the great guy you are. Thanks a lot, Frankie, and good luck.
Frankie and Murray shake hands. Kaplan enters the scene and clears the locker room of the reporters. Finally, Frankie and Kaplan are alone.
Frankie, I'm proud of you. That was the greatest fight of your career. And if you play your cards right, you could be the next Al McCoy or Ben Jibby.
Yeah, maybe. I guess you're my manager again.
How about going to Luke Charles for a fight?
I don't think so, Mr. Kaplan.
Frankie, we're proud of you.
As Frankie is about to answer, Russo barges into the locker room. Russo has a gun.
Why, you two-timing double-crosser! You were supposed to lose!
I know.
Is that all you can say? I know.
What else you want me to say?
Frankie, we had a deal. Everything is all messed up now. I'm out 300 G's because of you. Where am I going to get that kind of money?
Can't help you there.
Don't play stupid with me. I'll plug you right now.
Who's stopping you?
Don't tempt me.
Pull the trigger.
Frankie, don't say that.
I'm tired of living.
Russo points the gun at Frankie. Then 4 uniformed police officers rush into the locker room, led by a man dressed in civilian clothes, all with guns in their hands.
Freeze! Drop that gun now!
Russo hesitates for a moment, then drops his gun. The uniformed police officers grab Russo.
Joseph Russo, I'm Special Agent Howard Kleinberg of the New York State Police Anti-Racketeering Unit. You are under arrest for racketeering, extortion, assault, and illegal possession of a deadly weapon. You have the right to remain silent and consult with an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Get that guy out of here!
While being led away by one of the uniformed police officers, Russo turns around, looks at Frankie, and screams.
I'll get you, Mason!
You and who else? I'll punch you in the face if you ever as much look at me again.
You're a dead man, pal!
Oh yeah, you threatening me?
Frankie suddenly lunges towards Russo and is restrained by 2 of the uniformed police officers, while the other 2 uniformed police officers escort Russo off the stage.
Calm down!
You can let go of me now.
The 2 uniformed police officers release Frankie.
Why don't you two help out with Russo?
Yes, sir.
Both uniformed police officers exit the stage.
I know those guys were handcuffed, but I couldn't help losing my cool. I was within seconds of becoming a goner. That guy Russo was about to shoot me.
I know. Try to calm down.
How do you know Frankie? Frankie decided to come forward and tell the State Athletic Commission about his dealings with the Russo gang. Because of the information Frankie provided
And Frankie's willingness to cooperate with our investigation into corruption in boxing, we were able to set up this operation. What Frankie did took a lot of courage. Guys like Russo don't play games. He was going around putting the pinch on boxers to fix fights and then threatening to report them as crooks if they didn't do what they were told. Hopefully this will put a stop to that kind of criminal activity.
That's really something, Frankie.
I did what I had to do. I mean, if I hadn't been so greedy and dumb, I wouldn't have been in this predicament in the first place.
Nobody's perfect.
What happens now?
Russo and his gang will be arraigned, indicted, and put on trial, and you'll be the star witness for the prosecution.
I'll cooperate.
I know you will.
Frankie and Kleinberg shake hands.
You'll be hearing from us.
Kleinberg exits the stage. Frankie sits down.
So now, you're a stoolie for the police? How does it feel?
Not so good.
How long is this arrangement supposed to last?
I don't know.
Your parents know.
Yeah, they know. In fact, my father arranged me to contact the commission. If it weren't for him, I'd be in jail right now, or maybe worse.
Well, good luck.
Where you going?
Catherine turns around and faces Frankie.
I'm leaving.
I thought you were going to Luch House.
I just remembered I had some other business to attend to.
You're not trying to dodge me now, are you?
Not at all, Frankie. I'm happy that you're now champ and hope that it brings you a lot more success. But I think it would be better if we not talk to each other for a while.
Okay, Mr. Kaplan, if that's what you want.
Kaplan looks at Frankie for a few moments, then gently pats Frankie on the shoulder. Frankie looks up at Kaplan, then they slowly shake hands. The Kaplan leaves the locker room, and Frankie is left alone, with a forlorn expression on his face. Suddenly, a young, attractive woman, early 20s, casually but neatly attired, rushes into the room, slamming the door behind her. Frankie, startled, looks up at her.
Phew, those guys out there are animals. They can't keep their mitts off the girl.
Who are you and what are you doing here?
My name is Gertie Brown. I think you're the greatest, and I wanted to tell you that personally.
Well, I don't feel too great now, so I appreciate it if you leave.
You just won the championship, and now you're down in the dumps? You're a hero! What's the problem?
I did some really stupid things and now we're paying the price.
Oh, yeah? You want to tell me about it?